All right, guys, so let's talk about the correlation between the tree of life and the wisdom that is found in the Proverbs. I've never noticed how important these two concepts are, because essentially what Solomon is doing is he's inviting his sons to seek after the wisdom that Adam had before he ate in the garden. So let me explain this. So basically, before Adam ever ate in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he was given the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God is what provided him with life. So just understand it this way. When Adam was formed from the dirt, God breathed into his body the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Whenever God placed him into the garden, he said to him, there are two trees here. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which you should not eat of, and then there's the tree of life, which you can eat from. Now, if you understand these concepts and understand that these were not trees that gave you just an extra dose of life, if you will, but essentially what it was is it was the process of gaining wisdom. So before Adam ever ate, he inherited the wisdom of God through the breath of God, and he was to maintain that wisdom by eating from the tree of life. And more importantly, the eating from the tree of life is a symbol of learning. That is to learn, engage, pursue the wisdom that God gives. Eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is rejecting the wisdom of God and pursuing self-wisdom, self-knowledge. That is knowledge that derives or comes from man. So the moment that Adam ate from the Garden of Eden, he stopped learning the wisdom of God, and he began to pursue his own wisdom that comes from within himself. And because of that, he died. So if you can understand it this way, to pursue the wisdom of God is life, and to pursue the wisdom of man is death. The moment we stop pursuing the wisdom of God, that is the moment we die. And the moment we begin pursuing the wisdom of man, that is the continuation of that death. And so essentially, when you think about the Garden of Eden and everything that happened there, the reason why Adam died but didn't die physically is because he died mentally. He died in his mind. He died to the things of God, and he began to live unto the things of man, which essentially is death at its best. All right? So when we go into the book of Proverbs, and Proverbs chapter 1, Proverbs chapter 2, and more specifically Proverbs chapter 3, verse 18, Solomon writes that wisdom is a tree of life. And the reason he is saying this is because he's inviting his children to pursue the wisdom of God. In Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7, he states that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It is the beginning of wisdom. That is to live life in pursuit, not of our knowledge, not of our understanding, but in pursuit of the knowledge and the wisdom of God, which was a gift to Adam from the very beginning, a gift that he threw away to pursue his own knowledge and understanding. This turns our life upside down in a way, because what it causes us to do is to recognize a creator, a ruler, a master of heaven and earth, and to govern our lives according to that. Essentially, brothers and sisters, that's what it means to be a child of God. That's what it means to be a person of the kingdom of God. It is to denounce human wisdom, human knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, denounce that, and go back to a life pursuing the tree of life, which is the wisdom of life. And when you do that, you get the information you need to serve as the rulers that God intended you to be on this earth, the agents of governance over all creation. Except this time, you're not just governing a garden, you're governing the whole world. That's essentially what God came to do, but we have to be people of wisdom. So we're going to continue to study this. I'm just sharing with you what I am getting from Proverbs, and hopefully it'll help. I'll see you next time in the upcoming video. Until then, take care and God bless.